Assalamu alaikum. Hi, this is Abdul Malek, a student of 6th semester from the Department of English, Business Trust, University, Bangladesh. At first, many thanks to our Honorable Ma'am, Mrs. Jennifer Yasmin, a lecturer of English Department, Business Trust, University, to give us a great chance to promote the presentation. There are 10 members in our team. Those are Ziabul Kolim, Labbi Jahan Sisti, Shajjad bin Abdul Momen, Shakot Hussain Nahid, Shahana Sharmin, Sadia Khanum, Jiyad, Abdul Noor, Ataur Kolim, and myself. Our presentation's topic is Double Dearer, a comedy written by William Congreve. Now I am going to tell about something William Congreve. William Congreve was born 24 January 1670, Baldesi, West Riding of Yorkshire in England. He was died 19th January 1729 at the age of 58 in London, Great Britain. Resting place, Westminster Abbey. Occupation, playwright and poet. Nationality, English. Period, 1693 to 1700. If we give our concentrate, we can see that the characters of the committee are divided into two kinds of. They are men and women. The main characters, Mask Oil, Touch Oat, Lord Touch Oat, Maleficent, Careless, Lord Forth, Brisk, Sir Foul Friend, and then women, Lady Touch Oat, Cynthia, Lady Froth, Lady Fear and Chaplain, the Change.
Thank you, Malek. This is Sadia here. Today I am going to describe about the character of this comedy play. Here we can see Jack Maswell. He is the Machiavellian character the story revolves around. A pensioner of Lord Thatchwood, he flirts to become his benefactors here and marry an heiress. Toward this end, he pretends to be a friend of Maleficent, Lord Thatchwood's nephew and heir. He also becomes Lady Thatchwood's lover, both for his sensual delight and for an opportunity to put her in a position where she will be a willing tool against the innocent Maleficent. He is motivated only by selfishness and sensuality in his wicked schemes against his friends. And next, this comedy sees character Maleficent. Maleficent, the chief victim of Maswell's flirts. He is a mannerly, virtuous young man who is his uncle's heir and about to marry Cynthia, a rich heiress. He trusts Maswell. His own honesty blinds him to the dishonesty in his enemy, to the point that he makes Maswell his confidant and tells him all his thoughts and plans.
Thanks. Now I am starting my presentation on Lady Touchwood and Lord Touchwood. Lady Touchwood, Maleficent's Aunt by Marys. She is a passionate woman who falls in love with Maleficent, even to offering herself to him in his bedroom. When she is refused by the honest young man, her left-hand head puts her in league with Maxwell to ruin Maleficent. She then becomes Maxwell's mistress, her zeal to enter Maleficent's bed, even after being refused, proves her undoing, and her husband catches her and reveals her as an adulteress. Lord Touchwood, an honest man who, like his nephew, is deceived by dishonest people. When he is misled by Lady Touchwood and Maxwell, he casts off his nephew, believing that Maleficent has tried to seduce Lady Touchwood. He then vows that he will make Maxwell his heiress Cynthia. With Cynthia's help, however, he discovered the treachery of Maxwell and his wife. In time, to reconsider his actions and reinstate his nephew.
Cynthia. Cynthia, a beautiful young heiress in love with Meliphant. She refuses to consider Maxwell as a husband because she is sincerely in love with the man she wants to marry. She helps unmask the plot against Meliphant. Lady Plant. Lady Plant, Cynthia's stepmother, the second wife of Sir Paul Plant. She pretends to great pity and virtue, even to the point of letting her husband enter the marriage bed only once a year, on their wedding anniversary. She dominates her husband, reading all of his mail and issuing him pocket money as one would give an allowance to a child. Her hypocrisy becomes manifest, however, when careless Meliphant friends courts her and easily turns her from her virtuous path, revealing her pity to be mere silliness and hypocrisy. Like her sister-in-law, Lady Touchwood, she is dominated by sensuality.
Sir Paul Plant. Sir Paul Plant is Cynthia's father, a good man but stupid. He accepts his wife's dominance and her supposed pity, not wanting to admit that she fails him as a wife. He wishes his daughter to marry so that she can provide him with a grandson. His wife appears unlikely to produce a son and heir. He is also Lady Touchwood's brother. Ned Careless. Ned Careless is a happy and witty young man. He is Meliphant's good friend. He distrusts Maxwell and tries to warn Meliphant against him. Careless, almost as a joke, undertakes to show for Lady Plant's love in the hope of leading that woman to provide a son for her husband. Lord Froth, a soulman, a stupid nobleman. He tries to appear a bit better than everyone else. He fears especially to demean himself by laughing at other people's jokes.
Lady Ford. Lady Ford, a vain silly woman. She wants to appear as a scholar and poet, but poetical effect merely show that she has neither taste nor talent. Mr. Briggs. Mr. Briggs, a would-be wit whose success only in bringing a coxcomb. He strives desperately to be a brilliant conversationalist, only to prove himself a bone. The Reverend Mr. Sygress. The Reverend Mr. Sygress and absurd curly man who each man a willing tool. He would like to be considered a great writer of sermons as well as a scholar and a wit.
The plot of Double Dealer largely concerns two innocent and sincere characters, Meliphant and Cynthia, trapped in a labyrinth of deception and evil machinations created by the jealous Lady Touchwood and the manipulative Maxwell. Meliphant, the heir apparent of Lord Touchwood, seeks to marry Cynthia, the daughter of Sir Paul Plant. Lady Touchwood, who is in love with Meliphant, aims to ruin the match. She enlists the help of Maxwell, her lover, to tarnish Meliphant's esteem in Lord Touchwood's eyes. To this end, Maxwell convinced both Lords Touchwood and Plant that Meliphant is involved with their respective wives.
The Double Dealer is built around the schemes of a man named Maxwell, who attempts to marry another man's bride and become the heir to an estate that he has no claim to anyone. When Maxwell finds out that Malphon is in love with Cynthia and hoping to marry her, he decides to ruin his reputatious father's wife, that Malphon actually wants to sleep with her. He convinces Malphon's uncle that Malphon is sleeping with his wife Lady Touchwood. Ultimately, Cynthia's parents see Malphon as unsuitable, even though her father's wife wants to sleep with Malphon. She believes he only wants to marry Cynthia to get to her. Lord Touchwood named Maxwell as his heir instead of Malphon. However, ultimately Malphon's friend Careless steps in and helps people see the truth. Cynthia and Lady Touchwood overhear. Lady Touchwood admits her guilt in trying to make Maxwell look bad for rejecting her. When she tried to sleep with him, he disguises himself and hears her try to make another attempt at being with Malphon. This clears things up. Maxwell is exposed as a fraud, and Malphon and Cynthia are able to marry.
The social commentary. Restoration comedy doesn't however restrict itself to negatives, nor to rejecting conventional morality and ridiculing its followers. The through it is indeed a libertine and often spent thrift and freethinker, but he exposes positive values that offset these signs of youthful exuberance. Beverly, for example, it is highly prized. At the same time, the Congreve play are the artistic consummation of the tradition of restoration comedy. They also reveal a breaking away from these traditions. Do these play accept societal norms, and do the hero and heroine must be able to conform to the societal expectation? They recognize the flaws of society also. Instead of trying simply to blend into society, that through it seeks to establish a private world beyond it.
It is easy to forget that the play The Double Dealer by William Congreve is a comedy because of its sharp observation on the nature of evil. The overall theme of The Double Dealer is deception, which is hinted in the title itself. There are two forms of deceptions illustrated in Congreve's play. The deceptions conducted by sociopathic manipulators, namely Maxwell, Lady Touchwood, and Lady Violent, and self-deception. Another theme in the play is the use of physical architecture to mirror psychological architecture. The hidden staircases, secret passages, backways, and other labyrinthine architectural features are analogies for the antagonists, hidden agendas, secret dealings, and ulterior motives. Moral lesson. Throughout the play, the writer gives us a lesson that an innocent person always wins through suffer from a little bit, and the person whose aim is to create a complication will suffer a long run.